What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and today I'm here to talk about what could potentially be the downfall of whatnot. If you want to know what I'm talking about, don't go anywhere. Check this out. Shout out to the homies over at Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check them out. They got a lot of great stuff going on. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, consider using my friend Justin over on Instagram. The links are in the description to all my videos to those fantastic people, as well as more people like the Augusta Book Exchange and Pops Attic. Just some great recommendations from me. So let's get into it. Like I said, today I want to talk about something, and per usual, I need your feedback because this is not something that I'm necessarily well versed on. I don't have a lot of experience on apps like Whatnot and stuff like that. I have tinkered with them here recently in the past just to kind of get an understanding of them, because we've all heard like the horror stories. Like you had the whole C3 event that happened, not C3 but C2E2 event. C3 is that fantastic YouTube event, Comics Curing Cancer, that will be coming this October from October 20th through 22nd, where last year we raised over $22,000. This year we're looking to beat that number. If you're interested in being part of the cure, be sure to follow Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram. But we heard the horror stories about Whatnot from all these conventions, specifically C2E2 being the most memorable one, with the acetate cover and all these sellers getting preferences and preferred, like just it's just crazy. Like it seems like certain sellers get so much love and pushes from the app and everything, while other people are just kind of left in the weeds. And here recently, there's been a lot of people talking about how they've adjusted and amended the way that giveaways are done or mystery bags are done, because there's a lot of people getting grifted or getting conned by sellers and everything, which I don't know if what I want to talk about would be the answer to that, but it is an alternative to the platform. And for some reason, whatever reason, just such a large part of the comic book community has just pushed back against Whatnot. They're not fans of it. Now, there, I'm sure, are some great sellers out there, people that make a killing and make an honest living selling on Whatnot, but it's just, I don't know what it is about it that just pushes so many people away. It's one of those things. It's not for me. I did a couple of videos talking about my experience with it. More or less, it was frustrating for me as somebody who's not big into reselling or buying all these different exclusives and chasing all those things, that it seemed like a lot of that. It seemed like just a ton of that. But I recently saw a post by my homie, none other than John Jang, and he posted that his first ever eBay Live exclusive drop. So this is a book called Death of Venomverse. He did this exclusive cover for AZ Comics or ANZ Comics. And when I saw him post that, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this thing called eBay Live exists. So this has been something that had been in the works for a while. It's been up and operational for a little while now, but it just fell off my radar completely. I remember them doing like the first couple of shows months and months ago, and there were like thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the live stream for it. And I can't even remember what it was for. It wasn't for comics. I think it was for like baseball or something like that. And so I decided to go figure out how to get on there. So it took me a minute to even figure out how to find eBay Live, but it was super simple. Like right in your app at the top of it, there's those little tabs there. There's this little eBay Live button. So I hit that and it popped up immediately. Like I didn't have to curate anything, but it was already ready for me. And it was just different comic shops or stuff that I've purchased from or that I've seen before. And A&Z was there, and I hopped on, and there was 1,400 people watching. 1,400 people in the chat. I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of people. You go on Whatnot and like a good, really hitting seller, you see like 100, 200 people, something like that. There's 1,400 people. And it just made me think, like, just the amount of people that already use eBay, that are already present with that app, that already are familiar with it, they're already over there. So why haven't more people started using the eBay Live feature? So what is it? Is it just already comfortable on Whatnot? Is this going to be something that people slowly shift to? I don't have a clue. But one thing that I thought was really cool that I noticed is there's a huge difference in having 1,400 people in your audience versus having 100 people that are there specifically for what you have. Because I noticed something very interesting is over on the eBay thing. There was 1,400 people there, and these retailer exclusives were selling for like $70 and more in some cases. And then the seller was putting up like actual comic books, like actual blue chip comic books, books that don't lose value, that already have value, that aren't just like hot modern books and stuff. But first off, I do want to share that I did pick up the Venomverse book. They had very similar features to Whatnot, and they had a buy it now thing. And yeah, this is actually really well done. There's the picked up the trade dress from the eBay live sale. I had already ordered the Virgin one from their shop where they dropped it, but they had them up there just for I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks. So I hit one of the buy it nows and scored that. Got the little COA on the back. Nobody does symbiotes like Jang does symbiotes. It's absolutely awesome. But it made me think like this is pretty wild that these books, not like these are in buy it now, but like these retailer exclusives were going for so much. It's like the audience didn't really know, but it just seems like with that many people, like that many eyes on it, like it has to be like something that has to be on Whatnot's radar, right? Like that has to be worrisome to them. There's the Virgin variant right there. Give me a comment. Let me know which one you think looks cooler, the trade dress or the Virgin. Well, with as many people that were upset at Whatnot or not happy with Whatnot, now you have this other option. Like, are people actually going over there? Is this going to be what eventually kind of like runs Whatnot out, or are they going to be able to keep up and make updates, shifts, and changes to stay relevant? Because I mean, over the time of me paying attention to social media stuff, you just see so many stuff come and go so fast. Um, God, what was the name? There's another little selling app. It was almost like an app that was similar to like the Facebook Marketplace. I forget what the name was. You used to have commercials run and everything. People sold everything and anything on there. I think they've changed names numerous times and stuff like that. But y'all picture that happening to Whatnot? You picture like eBay Live being something that absolutely takes Whatnot down. Is this like it's going to be like two separate things? We're going to have Coke and Pepsi, or is this going to be it for Whatnot? Is this going to be the end of Whatnot now that eBay Live is there? Is eBay going to put any more money and juice into it to get it to become more than what it is? Because right now, I don't see them advertising like Whatnot does. I don't see them having like sellers that are out there pushing that feature on the app. I know eBay doesn't need it, and could that be like why it hasn't already just like trucked over Whatnot? That Whatnot staying relevant by having all these people in their respected areas of comics or shoes or sports cars that are out there like promoting for it, like building a fan base and bringing them over there. Where eBay, that's just such a large entity. They just put the option there and they let it sit there. And if you want to use it, you can use it. I don't really have a clue what's going to happen with it, but it has the potential. It has already built-in audience and people that use it and everything. But we'll see. But I managed to score a massive book on there. Like again, people were selling, they were selling these exclusives, and people were buying like John Jang's World Tree sold for over $70, and then he put up this key comic right here, and I ended up scoring it for $70. There's other people bidding on it, but they stopped. I don't know why they stopped. It had way more room to go, but this is none other than issue number 37 of Swamp Thing, the first appearance of John Constantine. Now, this book, a raw copy, goes for money. Like 250 was his last sold, 147.83 was one of the last sold. And then I thought it was cool in the features for last sold. You'll see this copy specifically right there, right in the middle there, sold for $1. That's actually this copy, and it has a little icon on the side that says live. So that's another thing that we're gonna have to watch when we're price checking stuff using the eBay last sold feature. Anything that's done in those eBay live sales, he started it at $1. Everything in his auction started at $1. So that's what it's showing in the last sold feature. That this book right here sold for $1 instead of the final bid of $70. So that's something that if you're using eBay last sold price check stuff and you see that live listed right next to it right there, that is not an actual accurate value anymore. So that's just something to keep in mind and consider. But I was extremely happy with my experience on there. It was very user friendly. Again, it's just not really my scene, more or less. It was awesome finding that score, and that really made me want to go back and check stuff out again. And since then, it's just been kind of retailer exclusives and modern variants. I haven't really done any more of these older books like that. But it's something I'm going to keep my eye on, something I'm curious about. I want to know what you think. Is eBay Live going to be what pushes Whatnot out? Is this Whatnot thing going to come and go? It's been around for a couple of years now. Do you see it continuing? Do you see it getting bigger? Or do you see it just being another fly by the seat of your pants kind of app that comes and goes? Definitely leave me a comment. Let Let me know what you think because, again, I don't have enough experience with either one of these things to really pretend like I know for certain, which I definitely don't. But I appreciate you watching this long. Definitely consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, checking out the merch store, or supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.